morning, Naledi, and to our viewers. I could not agree more with you. A lot of drama here at the City of Tshwane following the mayor's resignation. We are currently here with the mayor's chief of staff, Jordan Griffiths. The EFF, they just, pushed out of this particular office. There was a standoff. They wanted to actually carry him out of the office. You would understand that there is still the issue of the two resignation letters. The council speaker who told us yesterday confirmed that he is accepting the mayor's second resignation letter, which obviously comes to effect on the 28th of February, end of this month. But the opposition parties, in particular the EFF, saying that on Monday at midnight, the mayor's first letter came into effect. They are saying that the mayor's powers and the mayoral committee collapsed when that letter came into effect, and that means all the mayoral staff as well must vacate office. So they are here today to make sure that they block the mayor's staff. They're also against the interim mayor, that being the MMC for Finance, Peter Sutton, who's appointed to act. But I want to get to Jordan here. He is, I see, upset and really just, with everything that happened here with the EFF wanting to carry him out of the office. Jordan, it's really an unfortunate situation, and you are now caught in the middle of this tension that's brewing here in the capital city. What do you make of what just happened here, what we just saw? Security had to come in and intervene. Metro Police is here. How do you feel?
So I'm really not upset. This is politics. It's the nature of politics. It's the nature of the EFF's politics. There are colleagues here from the EFF. Councillor Ramabodi, who's the caucus leader, was here, was sitting across from me telling me that I must vacate office. So for the record, I am the chief of staff in the mayor's office, and it's my job to advise the mayor and support the mayoral committee as far as possible. As you rightly indicated, the mayor did issue out two letters concerning his resignation, of which the speaker has accepted the second one, indicating that the termination will occur on the 28th of February. And the mayor has lawfully appointed MMC Sutton to act in his place and also submitted leave so that MMC Sutton can act unhindered. The EFF have rejected this and want that resignation to be immediate. Obviously, they have attempted to try and evict some of the MMCs, and there are political support staff like myself, and our terms are attached and our employment contracts are linked to the political incumbent. But in my case, and for many other staff that work with me, our actual contracts are for the 3-month notice period. And so in order for us to vacate office when a new mayor has been elected, we are then served with 3 months notice, and we have to then vacate office. But the EFF are not quite content with this. They want me to leave now and are threatening to forcefully remove me. And that's unfortunate. Also unfortunate because I actually myself am recovering from a broken leg. So I'm not quite sure how they intend to do that without physically injuring me. But this is the kind of theatrics and politics that we often expect. So I'm not too worried about it. The work carries on. The mayoral committee met yesterday, duly deliberated on reports, particularly ones like the adjustments budget that are critically important for next week's council meeting on the 28th of February. So work has to continue in the city, and the interests of the city must be sustained. So it's a bit concerning that the EFF are trying to now actually actively destabilize.
But do you blame them if you take into consideration how the mayor left, leaving everyone with so many questions, and he is on leave? He has appointed an interim mayor without consulting council, and he is not here to answer all the questions that we are looking for. And now you are left to deal with the standoff. So do you blame the political impasse, the tensions from the opposition when they are saying that they feel that they are taken advantage of, and the whole processes in the city are being undermined, and just how the mayor's resignation is being handled?
I think there's been an attempt to create deliberate confusion for the sake of politics, which is unnecessary. As I indicated earlier, the mayor's initial resignation was as of midnight on Monday night, and so he was well within his right to adjust that on Monday, which is what he did. And obviously there was an attempt to politic over that, in an attempt to sort of further destabilize and maybe even. In my mind, what was prepared was quite clear. and indicated out. And as indicated by the Speaker yesterday, legally as well, he took legal advice, which indicated that the second letter was perfectly fine for the Mayor to resign as the 28th of February.
What do you make of some of the criticism that the second letter was deliberately adopted to protect the jobs of the MMCs, your job as well, the mayoral staff's jobs, and make sure that the DA buys enough time to salvage its broken relationship with the coalition partners, but also to pave the way forward? What do you make of that criticism, that it's not so much about what the law dictates, but it's about having an upper hand against the opposition?
No, I think that's the wrong interpretation. The revision of the Mayor's resignation was done in the interest of ensuring that the Mayoral Committee can carry on executing their duties until the end of the month, particularly with an upcoming council meeting next week, Thursday, the ordinary council meeting of the month, where reports are destined for. This allows the Mayoral Committee to meet and dispense with those reports and channel them through to council. So, in my understanding, that is the best way forward. So, not done in the interest of politics, but done in the interest of making sure that the governance of the city, the core governance of the city, continues unhindered. And there are important reports that are, for instance, that were deliberated on by the Mayoral Committee yesterday, which will now be submitted to the Speaker's office to be loaded on the council agenda next week, Thursday. So I think that's really, really important that occurs.
I see the EFF is getting ready here to also have their word. Just lastly, where is the interim mayor? There is an interim mayor, but when is he at least addressing us to call for calm or to just pave the way forward? He is given the powers to act. Where is he? Where is Peter Sutton?
So MMC Sutton has been available this whole last week.
When is he addressing the media, address the people of Tshwane through the media so that we can hear what is happening from him?
I know that he has already spoken to the SABC previously in the week on the state of governance in the city and the finances and what he's been doing. So maybe he hasn't spoken to you particularly, but he's been given a number of interviews across multiple platforms over the last few days in order to assure people that work of the city is going to carry on. So possibly he may have just missed you, but he's very much at work doing what he needs to do. He chaired the Mayoral Committee meeting yesterday for a good 10 hours to make sure we can deliberate on our reports. So, I think it's really important that he has allowed the space to work and guide the Mayoral Committee through until council next week.
All right, thank you so much. The EFF's Obakeng Ramabodu joins me. You want to carry out Mr. Griffiths here. Is that the way we do things? Is that necessary? In particular, if we take into consideration that he's actually injured.
Actually, carrying him is not like we are violent. We are helping him. He's our brother. He's a cadre of the DA. He's a ward member of the DA. Actually, at some point, he was a chairperson of the ward of the DA. So he's here with a cadre deployment, the same cadre deployment that his party is fighting in the national level. Very shocking that this party will fight a cadre deployment but allow it here in Tshwane. So if you check the people who were working with Mogalapa and Soli, they vacated office after Mogalapa and Soli were resigned. So I don't understand what is special about Randall. We are here to ask the Mayoral Committee in terms of the Municipal Systems, Municipal Structures Act, Section 60, subsection 5, that the Mayoral Committee has been dissolved because of the resignation of the mayor. We only recognize the first letter. They are the ones who have caused this confusion by only entertaining the second letter together with the Speaker. But he must admit that they have caused this confusion because they want to save the Mayoral Committee, because there are crises with their cadre deployment and also with their multi-party coalition. So we will help them to leave. Even now, we will help him to leave. We are not intending to fight. We have already released 2 MMCs. And we don't release you because of color. We went to that useless MMC of Action SA. He's black. We also released him. We are releasing anyone who's claiming that he's still part of the Mayoral Committee, because in terms of the rules and in terms of the legislation, the Mayoral Committee has been dissolved.
Security has been called in. Metro Police have been beefed up. There's a lot of them here. How are you planning to remove them? It's a strong word. If you are blocked by security, Metro Police says, no, get out of the building, you are a security risk now, what's your next option?
I think he will cooperate. He will not want to put this municipality into further to be in dispute because of his behavior. The security, they must know that these are politics. We are not trying to do anything funny. They must stay away from politics. Actually,
If they don't stay away?
then we'll meet them. Our national leadership always meet with the task force. This is just a metro. It's nothing here. They meet with the task force that is meant to kill. So if they want to leave their duty of bylaws and making sure that there's order on the streets of Tshwane and they want to attend to us, let it be. But they know what is their duty. It's not to come here and enter politics.
Yesterday, you talked about a chain that you, as the EFF, would buy to, block all the MMC's vehicles, extreme actions. Tell us about that. Have you done that this morning? Are you going ahead with those threats?
It's not a threat. He must tell you, Mr. Advisor. He says he's a political advisor of the mayor. You must ask him who is he advising, because there's no mayor. And I like your question of Satan, who was self-appointed by them. Who is he advising in this office? That's why we say he must leave. The cars have been taken to a headquarters, I'm told. None of the MMCs are driving their cars. He can attest to that. So at least what we have instructed through our statement, they have honored it. So those cars must park there until council, in terms of the legislation, convene and elect a new mayor, and that mayor must appoint mayoral committee, and they can have their protection service again, including this one. He will come back to office after the new mayor is appointed. What will happen if the mayor won't be the mayor of the DA? What will happen with him? He will leave immediately. He's lying when he speaks about 3 months. If tomorrow he wakes up, the mayor is a mayor of PAC or ATM, he won't be in office.
Is that a possibility? This is a numbers game. The coalition parties have the upper hand in terms of the numbers. Is it possible that we would see another coalition knowing that they have more numbers than the EFF, the ANC, and the other smaller parties collectively? You still do not have the numbers. You actually need Action SA to join you to form a new coalition, and they have made their position very clearly that they're not going into bed with the ANC.
They had their numbers in Johannesburg, they had their numbers in Ekurhuleni. So it's not a new thing. These are politics. Actually, the difference of us and them in the council is only 3 councillors. They have 2 councillors who are in ICU. They think we don't know. And we have dealt with the issue of Zoom. We don't want a Zoom meeting anymore. So they will have to get those councillors from ICU in a hospital bed to come and vote for them. But it's politics. Parties are engaging each other. I'm told that ACDP now wants MMCs in their coalition. So, but it's issues of their coalition. Anything is possible. But also with their numbers, media must ask, what is that you have done for the people of Tshwane? Because it must not be only about numbers, it must be about performance. The damning report of the AG is confirming what we've been saying, that there's a lot of incompetency, there's lack of leadership. For the past 7 years, we had DA mayors. For the past 7 years with 4 mayors, they want a 5th mayor. And you go to history and understand how those mayors were dismissed here in the city. It's because of corruption. It's because of maladministration. The other one was having sex in the very same office here.
All right. Obakeng, just lastly, is there a non-violent way to resolve this impasse without becoming physical with Jordan or any of the other MECs? Is there a way to resolve this impasse politically without becoming physical, without the threats and acts of intimidation?
Let's promise the people of Tshwane and the viewers at home, there's no violence that is going to happen. We are here engaging with Jordan politically. He's a politician. He's not an official. He's a member of the DA. He's a hired gun of the DA. Actually, this guy, he's the de facto mayor. He's the one who's running this city, and he's running it into a crisis after crisis. All this mess that is being happening, thanks to Jordan.
I see a lot of councillors outside council. Is there any plans that you might have a meeting or anything like that? We saw them as we were walking in. Many of them were entering council. What's happening there?
Those are the masses of our people and councillors. So Jordan, if he's not aware, almost half of Tshwane is coming here. We want to hold them accountable because they've been abusing the people of Tshwane for quite too long, and they were not held accountable. Why, if it's a white government of the DA, is not being held accountable. But if it's a black government of the ANC or the EFF, all of them, they were going to be lining up here with the NGOs and courts and human rights and all that, saying that the people who are running the city are not running it to the right direction. Who must hold them accountable if it's not us? Because they are white? Because they are DA? Don't you see that they are failing? They are failing. 7 years of 10 billion irregular expenditure. You've never seen that in the history of local government.
Thank you so much there. The EFF's Ubakeng Ramapodu just giving us his sentiment. As I said, a lot of tension that is happening here. And I must say, you know, in the Tshwane mayor, the outgoing Mayor Randall Williams statement, he said that he's resigning to ensure stability in the capital city, in the municipality. And what we are seeing here is surely not stability. He has basically left his political colleagues in a huge fight over the confusion about his two letters. You can see there, of course, the EFF being escorted out by security. We'll continue, Naledi, to monitor what is happening here. How exactly will this impasse be resolved? And what exactly is the EFF and the ANC planning for the rest of this day? We've heard so many plans, we've heard so many threats. The ANC saying that they're mobilizing the masses to come and camp here at Tshwane House. And as you can see, the EFF has early morning already started with their actions, and they have started with the MMCs and the mayor's staff, who they say they want them out as in yesterday. For now, we toss it back to studio.